What's going on, everyone? Hamid Trades here, back with another video. Let's go ahead and take a look at the entire market as a whole. Let's see what's going on instead of, a longer video dissecting everything piece by piece. We could just take a look at everything as a whole. All right. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. All right. So number one, obviously today was a really strong green day today. I didn't really trade much. I stopped trading really in the morning because the market was very choppy. And yeah, essentially that's that. I didn't overtrade anything. The market was very choppy. There was no real momentum in any of the moves. Things just looked really artificial to me intraday. But so the SPY, right, and the NASDAQ and the IWM, everything bounced. So one of the main indicators that I was looking at was the fact that Microsoft and Google were both trading yesterday outside of the lower level of the Bollinger Band. So we can see Microsoft and Google, they've both reclaimed the Bollinger Band. And when these large multi-trillion-dollar companies are very overextended to the downside like this, it is a good chance that the market is going to reverse. And that's exactly what happened today. So now, obviously, that's another reason why. That's basically what I was saying. Like, that could be really good for the NASDAQ. And obviously, that's what caused the entire market to bounce. All right. So now looking at the SPY, clearly the bounce was led by the tech sector because the tech stocks were the most overextended to the downside. So when whatever company is most overextended to the downside, they have the highest probability and highest likelihood of bouncing the hardest. Okay. So now looking at the SPY, we can see that we're in a nice, not the most beautiful, tight falling wedge, but this is still a falling wedge pattern. So now tomorrow, the main level of resistance that we're going to need to break above is 445.31. Now, once 445.31 breaks above, then we can start to become much more cleanly bullish. But again, a lot of things can happen tomorrow because number one, tomorrow is going to be the last day of the trading week, and it's a short week due to the holidays. So again, tomorrow can also be very choppy. So that's why it's important not for us to overtrade. That's why it's important for us not to chase any moves intraday because these moves aren't going anywhere. It's better to not lose money. It's better to make a little bit of money than try to chase and lose a bunch of money. All right. So, but overall, if this momentum continues, we need to break above 445.31 for a continuation to the upside, and then we can see 447, 448 very easily. But now, the issue with this is that the RSI is moving very, it's very, what's the word? The RSI is very sensitive. So obviously, this was a very bullish reversal here, right? But the RSI is showing too much strength. So that's the only real issue here. But otherwise, things do look pretty bullish. We should continue on to the upside. But again, things can change because tomorrow morning, also, before the open, many important banks are having earnings. So Citibank, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, PNC, and also TSM, and also Wells Fargo. So a lot of these companies are going to, if they have bad earnings, this is going to cause obviously movement in the market. So keep your eyes on those. And so for the IWM, obviously the IWM closed very strong. If the banks have bad earnings, then this is going to cause the IWM not to be that strong, obviously. And if the IWM isn't that strong, then, the rest of the market, the financial market as a whole is going to take a hit, which is going to cause the SPY to take a hit. And since TSM is also reporting earnings, that can also cause the NASDAQ to take a hit as well because of NVIDIA and AMD. So just keep that in mind. The semiconductors are going to be heavily influenced by tomorrow morning's earnings for TSM potentially as well. So for the immediate, the NASDAQ needs to close above 347.38. But now ideally it needs to come and retest and fill this gap to 348.50. That I think could still happen. But now what needs to happen is we need to break above 348.50 for a nice clean reversal back into 350 and then 351 and then continuation upwards. That would basically coincide with the SPY being around 447 to 448 as well. At this point, we just have to take it one day at a time. All right. So obviously there's things going on tomorrow morning. The SPY and the NASDAQ closed very bullishly. We had a strong move intraday. But again, this is very, very choppy price action. But like I'm just trying to lay it all out so you guys understand everything from a whole picture. The equities closed very bullishly. There is a lot more room to the upside, to at least 447 to 448 on the SPY for tomorrow. Because the indicators are very overextended to the downside. The tech sector bounced pretty well also. And the main reasons why we were very overextended, Microsoft and Google, these large tech stocks, reversed pretty well. So we could continue on higher. But, it's not a guarantee because of, these other earnings that are happening and because of the choppy price movement and the market did not feel like there was no real momentum. It was a lot of stagnant volume intraday. So when that is the case, it's not the cleanest price action. So it could just be people, it could be the MMs trapping retail. But that's fine. But the other really, really bullish thing for the market is that the Bitcoin held 39.6. So we can clearly see this was a double tap, held support, and is now breaking upwards. Now, Bitcoin needs to break above 42,500. But if that doesn't hold, if we can't break above 42,500 now, then that is going to be a major level of resistance short term. And it would be a really, really good opportunity for people to go short because they could go short against 43 to 44,000. Because many people do think that this is just a reactionary bounce. And if this is a reactionary bounce in Bitcoin, that would mean that that's a reactionary bounce in the stock market as well. So if this is an overall downtrend in the crypto market and our downward targets are still going to be 37 to 38,000, this is just a really good opportunity to go short. So I hope you guys understand everything that I said. Basically, in the short term, tomorrow things can look bullish. If the market opens up green and we are trading above SPY's high of today, which was 444.11, and we're trading above this trend line here at 347.38 on the NASDAQ, overall, we have to be bullish above those levels because we traded above today's highs. But again, because the volume is so trash and it's a very choppy, stagnant market, do not fall in love with any position, and also keep an eye on Bitcoin. But aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.